boxing fan.
It's okay. Well, Floyd made his money last night, right?
I wanted to see that fight. I didn't, and I'm afraid to read the reports on it because the news reports on it because I want to see whether or not I can catch the replay on HBO.
It'll be on. That's what I'm going to do. Oh no! Wait. I think it was a Showtime fight.
Oh, was it? Okay. I'll have to make sure I get my trial, 3-month trial of Showtime for free to watch that fight.
That'll work. Well, I don't want to dominate.
Yeah.
I don't want to dominate this discussion. I just wanted to get, put out those sources and see what others had to say.
Yep. I think that you're going to find most of those people that are going to show up here are going to be thinking pretty much the way we do. But I think that this will be a great place to put our heads together and organize so that we can get the information out and make sure that nothing is being withheld from the State Department or from the administration on this business.
Well, I think one of the good things that people can do is hound their congressmen and senators. I've been doing that. Flipping my senators here.
Are you also in California?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. So
three congressmen here are really good. Ed Royce,
right?
Daryl Issa, and my congressman's Rohrabacher.
Right on.
And all three of those guys have been involved.
We'll need to make sure we make our voices heard to them. I think that just by gathering this way, okay, and doing what you just did, in other words, suggesting that people call, write to their congresspeople about this and expressing our insistence that they all come clean about this thing, it won't happen. But if we all do write in, we all call the not the people that you were discussing, but the Democratic congressman in California, that could have a really big effect on what does looked at.
Have you ever written to Feinstein or Boxer?
Yes, and I've gotten their ridiculous form letters back from them.
That's exactly the right description of it. And it took probably, what, 4 or 5 months?
About 3 months on average, actually, for each issue that I emailed them on. Please feel free to call us at our, feel free to write back and rest assured that looking into this and blah, 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 but they're not doing a damn thing about it, really.
Well, I've had Rohrabacher and Issa respond to my tweets. So that was nice.
And it just goes to show you how powerful that is. Go ahead and add to that. When we ultimately end up having dozens of people on here talking on video, okay, that'll then get posted to YouTube, where eventually millions of people are going to be able to see these conversations. They won't be able to ignore, what we want to talk about anymore.
I believe that also.
We do certainly appreciate your in and talking with.
I don't know exactly what you got covered because I came in a little late. Was there any specific things you wanted to? I started my recording late. I know Ken's been recording. Was there any specific items you wanted to cover and raise your voice about while I have a recording going, or otherwise we can just send you this really shortened copy of a clip on Twitter and I'll just edit it out, what we've been talking about now?
The only thing I would add is when Larry and I were talking, we didn't really get to the point, why were they there? in Benghazi on September 11th? What was the mission at that little building, which wasn't an embassy? Were they running guns through Turkey to Syria? What was the mission? What was the purpose?
Right. And do you have any idea what that purpose is? And Larry, do you want to chime in here, Larry? Because I have you on mute, but I can unmute you if you want to say something.
They were hostile to the U.S. Embassy. They were not at the regular embassy. It's because they were concerned about their security, so they moved to a secondary location. That's where it all hit the fan, and where they were killed. But there were, according to some of these whistleblowers, I read that there were as many as 40 people that were skilled in riots and that sort of thing that could have been there in an hour, but they were denied the clearance to go and do it.
Cover story. The two SEALs that actually died, they disobeyed orders and went over there to try to help. So the other thing, as far as the purpose, Stevens had a meeting with a high-level Turk that day, and the attack started right after the Turk left. Yeah, that's why I think the gun running thing makes sense.
And by gun running, do you mind just clarifying exactly, by gun running, exactly what's that?
They were taking weapons that were seized from Gaddafi's regime and filtering them and by capability and by functionality, and then trying to provide them to Syria through Turkey. And if you read that series of articles by Doug Hegman, you'll see all that.
Oh, I will definitely do that, and I really appreciate your pointing us in that direction.
It sure makes sense.
It's going to help a lot.
Who knowingly have a meeting on 9/11 in a Muslim country? So that's just something to think about: is why were they there? What was their real purpose?
Now, were they there for months and years upon end, Jeffrey?
The cavalry allowed to come in. They said they were prepared.
Yes. They actually, there's another theory. Well, they were prepared, but there's another theory. There was another theory that it may have been a hostage situation, and Obama was going to trade Stevens for the shake.
Somewhere.
That's another theory, that it was a botched hostage situation. The SEALs reacted, turned it into a firefight, killed, and that's why they didn't want to respond. They didn't want anybody killed. So the SEALs responding kind of messed that scenario up.
Huh. Usually the SEALs...
I don't know if I would act, but I do believe the gun running.
I would believe that more than I would believe that the SEALs screwed up. Because, I don't think there are more dedicated, better trained... No. I didn't think the SEALs screwed up. I would never say that. They screwed up Obama's plan by responding when they weren't supposed to. Ah, okay, I got you now.
That's what I meant.
Sorry for the misunderstanding.
That's okay.
And that I definitely buy.
Yeah, it makes sense to me too.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like us to know or tell the world about what you know about this? Or
those are the big things, and I just wanted to cite my two favorite sources. That's where I've learned most about from those guys and on Fox News. And I misspoke before. I think her name is Cheryl Atkinson, is the CBS reporter.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
She's kind of funny, but she's on Twitter also.
Okay, cool.
All right, great. So
very good.
So
those are those. That's what I want.
So I was going to say, Jeffrey, with that being the case, then why don't
we're going to make sure that what we talked about today gets tweeted about. We're going to send it far and wide and see if we can't get this discussion continued when we get 2.0 up and running.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so very much, Jeffrey. We really appreciate you contributing to this conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeffrey. It was nice meeting you.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Likewise. Thank you.
Before you leave, make sure you click that exit Vonvo button.